Check 1 2 1 2. What's up, party people? It's a Tuesday that feels like a Monday. Right? Is today Tuesday? I don't even know what day it is. Yeah, it's Tuesday. Definitely a Tuesday that feels like a Monday. I took the day off and I'm going to mess around. That's basically what's going on here. Hopefully I've got good audio. I'm going to do a sound check 1 2 1 2. Gonna look on the shell phone to see if I got audio here. Who's live? Okay. And it's me looking at my cell phone, so that's good. Let's do, let's see what that sounds like. It's me looking at my cell phone, so that's good. All right, we're in a inception loop here. Don't need that, but I do need to know that I've got sound. All right. Good Lord, YouTube, what's going on? I'm Mike. This is my channel, Solid State Alchemy. I'm in my basement. I'm in the underbelly of the YouTube algorithm. I don't look at my subscriber count very often, but evidently there's like 110 of you crazy asses out there who are subscribing to this channel. And man, I gotta tell you, I got no idea why. Production content? Nope. Or not production. Production value? None. Production value? None. Content? I don't know. You tell me. Content is evidently there's 110 people out there who want to see me in my basement talk about random computers that I buy off of people on Facebook Marketplace. So yeah, I got my tasty libation here. Man, what are we looking at? So this is a Dell Studio XPS computer, and it is a chunky boy. Oh my god. This is like the computer version of a donk. You know, sorry, I'm on some crinkly business under my seat here. It's like hard to work on this size of computer because it's so big and it's like difficult to like maneuver around it in my tiny basement alcove that I shoot in and prepare computers in. So Studio XPS 435/9000. So at some point they transitioned to just calling it the Studio XPS 9000, but earlier models were just 435Ts, and then there's like a transitory period where there's 435T/9000. I don't know. So this is, to my knowledge, this should be an x58 based system. This is like, you know, this computer at the time really didn't satisfy any market very well. It's not a gaming PC. It didn't come with a high-end graphic card, to my knowledge. I don't think you could even spec it with one. The one that's in here is not the original one. I don't think. It looks like it's single slot. I think these came dual slotted. It's triple channel RAM, HEDT style platform, x58, one of the kind of the first HEDT platforms from Intel. It wasn't really suited for like workstation applications. It was pretty fast. It could do light workstation, but not like pro level workstation applications. Like even 10 years ago when they were starting to use a lot more fully animated movies or whatever, you weren't doing that on this, right? They weren't making Monsters Inc. on a Dell Studio XPS 435T or whatever. So yeah, it wasn't it wasn't like a super compelling computer for any particular market segment, which is kind of weird. Usually companies, will put a lot of thought and labor into making sure that they hit that market segment just bang on, right? There's stuff like rattling all over around in here. So let's get the side panel off and see what we're working with. This is like, man, this side panel is freaking, compared to like the super cheap $50 cases that I build computers in right now, like this side panel contains more metal than most entire computer cases do. This is like dual layer. There's 2 layers of metal on this thing. Oh man, that's impressive. That's very, very solid. Built like a freaking tank. Like I said, this is like the donk. This is like a square. What do they call those? Not the bubbles, but the the Chevy Caprice of the computer world. So yeah, it's got just some. Let's see what this graphics package is in here. So I had the seller turn it on for me, just to see what was happening, and the failure mode is no display, and the CPU fan spins up to like 1,000,000 RPMs, right? So that tells me that we're probably dealing with a bad motherboard. I'm not like 100% certain that that's the case. Okay, let go, guy. Alright, there we go. Got this cross brace here. Like, I don't know, was Dell worried about this computer being a structural member of a house? I don't, man, that's crazy town. The other thing that's weird is like, so this tower, this cooling like duct, right? Intake duct for the CPU, just like it sits right behind these super tiny, I mean very, very small, tiny little grill holes in the side panel, and it's like almost flush to the side panel door. So that's not good. Not good for thermals. What are we looking at here? This is an ATI Radeon. Boy, I thought that 720 that I took out of the Dell XPS 8300 was small or was puny, but this is just like on another level. There's very little printed like stickery type stuff on this model. Cedar. I don't know. It's an ATI Radeon graphics. Boy, it does not have a lot in the way of identification labeling. Yeah, I don't know. It's very small. It's very underpowered. It's got, Mesozoic era port, a display, or a whatever you call these things, HDMI out, and DVI. Never can't remember all the different permutations of DVI, but it's the one with the four prongs on the additional in addition to the cross slot, instead of just having the one little spade that goes in there. Yeah, I can't. There's a sticker on a sticker here. I wonder if it's got a model number on the first sticker that was plastered over. Let's see. See what's reveal your secrets. Anybody else watch the Harry Potter weekend on Sci-Fi? Spent a lot of time watching Harry Potter this weekend and not making YouTube content. which is fine. You guys don't need all that. Come on. Come on. Can you just come off of there? Nobody wants you on here. Where's my other? Yeah. Might be a little grippier. Nope. That was not true. That was not true. Those are not any grippier. These, I have beat these little pliers up from my iFixit kit so much. These little tweezers that they are just bent all to heck. I use them for all kinds of stuff I shouldn't be using. Is there a sticker under there? There's not. There is no, it's not covering a sticker. It's just the spot on the card where you put the sticker. This is where the sticker guy puts the sticker. That's what they're telling him. Yeah, I don't really care that much. I mean, I know it's just really, really puny and tiny and probably not worth the amount of time that I'm investing in it to figure out what kind of terrible graphics card it is. Just gonna see if I can get the cooler off. But it's got those dumb plastic punch-through pins that are like impossible to remove without breaking. Yeah, alright. It's crap. Whatever the graphics solution this thing came with is hot garbage. So, and I don't know if in fact that is the failure mode. I will attempt to remedy the lackluster graphics package here, but I want to decline this phone call, and I want to just kind of disassemble the entire PC. I know it doesn't turn on, right? I mean, I know it turns on, everything spins up, but there's no display out, and we got some bad juju with the CPU fan going berserk. So I'm just going to take it all apart, and I want to see. I'm almost 100% certain that this is an i7 920. That is typical. That's like probably 99% of these computers shipped with an i7 920, but it's not impossible that it was upgraded at some point. I'm gonna decline that phone call also. I'm getting telemarketers like out the wazoo lately. They just incessantly calling me. So put those over there. A couple more of these things. Don't want any of them. Looks like, yeah, it should. Oh, it wasn't. It just wasn't locked in. Yeah, the guy told me he tried to like blow it out with some compressed air when it stopped working, but doesn't look like that was successful in remedying anything. Boy, that is tight. Come on. All right. So that might not have been in all the way, actually. It was latched in, so probably in enough. Who knows what's wrong with this thing right now? You know, it could be a bad RAM stick. It could be a bad video card. It could be a bad motherboard. CPU might be fried. Like, there's just no way to know. Bad power supply, although it's not my, considering that it did power up, it's not my first thought it's a bad power supply, but it could be. There's nothing that says that, you know, it might be sending the wrong voltage to some other component that's causing a no video out, and the board and the fans all still spin up. not impossible. I like the heat sinks on these boards, the VRM heat sinks on this motherboard though. Pretty beefy. Everything about this thing's beefy. So, pretty common upgrade path for this model of computer is to put a Xeon workstation chip in it. You can either go with a W3 series, or I think the X56 series also slots in here, and that gets you 6 cores. They're unlocked. A lot of them are. Not every compatible Xeon is unlocked, but the top ones are. Like the nicest ones are unlocked. So you get that. Thermal paste is just a dry desert wasteland. That's never been off of the motherboard. So did this thing overheat and kill the processor? Tough to say at this juncture. It's a pretty chunky, like as stock heatsinks go, that one has some definite heft to it. I definitely don't think it needs this extended not baffle, but flow director. I don't think it needs that for this application. It just puts it right on, like I said, right on those super tiny intake holes, and that is just not sufficient. That's not going to supply sufficient airflow for this PC, especially if we put a workstation 6-core in it. I don't think that would be a good idea to put the so yeah, he said he never had it out of the case, but it's definitely been removed from the case. It's missing all kinds of screws, and I've kind of sort of noticed that the I/O shield in the back doesn't exactly match up, and that I would be surprised if Dell sent it out of the factory missing motherboard screws and with a cracked up I/O shield emplacement. Not saying it couldn't happen, but it's unlikely. So now I'm starting to lean more towards bad motherboard. Just seems like, yeah, this guy tried to take this out of this case, and maybe he dropped it, maybe he freaking, who knows, maybe he shocked it. That's definitely a possibility. If he was doing it over this winter, due to COVID, he's stuck in the house and then walking around on his carpet, handling this stuff. Had it on the carpet on the floor. The computer was just sitting on the floor when I walked in. So was he working on the PC on the floor on the carpet? Tough to know. So take it all apart here, give it a look. I'm gonna put this motherboard and RAM on the test bench. Do I have all the screws out of it? Looks that way. It's not easy to get that guy in there. All right. So it's definitely been tinkered with through the years. You know, it's 12 years old. I doubt he said he was the first owner, but the story is less and less likely as I get into this thing. And that he bought it new. It was super fast. He loved it, and then one day he turned it on and it didn't work. And then he opened it up and tried to blow it out with some compressed air. Are these all matching dims? These are a different color than these two. Yeah, these are 1016. M377B 5673 FHO.CF8. 2 ranks by 8, 2 ranks by 8, PC3. Just 1016 versus 1018. Not sure what that denotes on the label for Samsung. It's got Samsung, DDR3 memory, just a bunch of 2 gig sticks of DDR3. So this was 6x2, so 12 gig of DDR3. See any debris in the RAM slots. Some kind of, looks like moisture or something around the exterior, the edges of the motherboard. I'm not sure. It's like, if it's just years and years of dust accumulated there and set up that kind of pattern, or if it got, it looks like it was set down in water or something. Yeah, it's got a weird, really weird residue pattern on it, like something dried off. It was set in water and then it dried off. So yeah, could be a bad motherboard. Definitely possible. Oh yeah, and this plated through hole for the heatsink, that's definitely been removed more than once, because there's a trace right there. Whoever was taking this on and off rubbed this peg right here, this screw, the screw down for the CPU cooler, rubbed it over that trace several times probably to get bare copper to show. So that's not good. You got bare copper traces showing, and the plated through holes are definitely, they've definitely been hammered. I'm not sure how or why you would be so rough with the freaking CPU cooler, unless you just didn't know what you were doing. So we get closer and closer to possible dead motherboard or dead CPU or both. We can check the power supply just with I have just like a rudimentary power supply tester. So what we got? What are we working with for this PSU here? Somebody's stuck the PCIe cables. They should come through the bottom. Shizzle. PCIe, 2 6-pins is what it's looking like. Yep. No, a 6-pin and an 8-pin. All right. Well, that's not too bad. Could definitely power a fairly robust graphics solution with a 6-pin and an 8-pin power supply. Power from the power supply. I think, if memory serves me, I mean, this looks like the original Dell, so that should be an original 475 watt Dell power supply. Okay, man, I went to the gym and my legs are just like absolutely toast. Let me get my power supply tester here. Try not to knock the camera over. Should have had it on the table already. Just not a lot of room in my little basement hideaway here. So, got the Thermaltake Dr. Power 2. So, these things aren't foolproof, right? It's definitely possible to have a bad... No. How do I put this? If this says it's bad, it's almost always bad. But it can say it's good and it still be bad. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Not 100%. If it says it's bad, it's usually right. If it doesn't say it's bad, then you've got like an 85% solution that it's going to be, that it is good. If this says it's good, it's probably an 85% rate, or better actually. It's better. It's better than 85%, but it's definitely not foolproof. All right, so I got CPU 8-pin, PCIe 6-pin, 24-pin board power. I don't know why I've just decided that I wasn't going to take the power supply out, but I did. I just decided that in my head, so it's just the way it is, guys. Sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Can I weevil this in here? There's just not enough room to get the SATA to go between these two plugs. There it goes. Okay. Alright, so now I gotta turn the whole thing this way so we can see what we're working with. That should work. Okay. Basically, if this thing lights up blue, then we're good. And if it lights up red and makes bad noises, then we're not so good. So let's see what's going on there. And press a little power. Okay, so we got 24-pin, PCIe, CPU, and SATA. All connected good. And then we press the test button. And it actually spun up the CD-ROM drive. So 12 volt is like a little bit low. It's like 11.6. So PCIe 12.0 right on the dot. CPU 12 volt right on the dot. SATA 11.9, 3.3 and 5.0 right on the dot. So, all right. Guess that works. Power supply is good. So, my prediction is bad motherboard or bad processor, or a bad motherboard that killed the processor. Telemarketers, stop it. Man, crazy town. All right. I guess I should have a look at the CPU socket to see what if any carnage is lurking in that. So as expected, that is an that is an Intel i7 920. Maybe this will tell me all I need to know right here if the socket is all mangled up. Well, other than an errant piece of thermal compound, that does not look to me to be a mangled socket. So that's good. Got that going for us, I guess. Put it back in there. Okay, all right, so no obvious physical damage to the board other than these plated through holes where the cooler mounts and these two copper traces that have been exposed. So I'm not really certain on how to proceed on this motherboard front, because if it's the motherboard, I won't be able to repair it. Is my thoughts. That's what I mean when I say I won't be able to, I don't know how to proceed. Is I don't believe that I will be capable of repairing these exposed traces. Maybe I could just cover them with like nail polish or some liquid electrical tape just to isolate them. I could do that. I could cover them with some liquid electrical tape to see if that is a possibility. Well, this does have a built-in. That's strange. So when the seller fired, I wanted to see if there was any obvious like problems when you press the go button, right? So I had him. We plugged it in and turned it on, and there was no beeping. And it's interesting because I thought that this motherboard did have a built-in speaker, and it does have a built-in speaker, but there was no beep codes for no post. So that the plot thickens. Now I don't know. Will it be a motherboard, or will it be this graphics card has shit the bed? Alright, well, let's get to testing. Stop staring at it. Stop, what did my old boss say? Stop praising the problem, and see what we can find out. So now I have to decide whether I want to test it in the case, or if I want to get the test bench. The test bench is a problem because, well, actually I can just take that out and then mount it to the back of the board. That's fine. That's actually not a problem. That's what we're going to do. We're going to take the cooler mount out of the case and just use it on the board. Too easy. And that way I can do all of this on the test bench, and I won't have to mess around with this 120-pound case. I'm telling you, this thing is just built like a freaking tank. Well, I think I'll be able to do that. Yeah, it comes right off of there. Nice. So, going to place this back under the CPU here. Get the holes lined up. Now let's get the thermal paste off of this thing. That was weird. Looks like it wasn't clipped in all the way to the plastic black bracketry. Kind of strange. Yeah, this thing's been through some stuff. That's all right, buddy. We're gonna fix you up. We are gonna fix you up. And I need some thermal paste, and it's right over. Look, I haven't snuck under here. No. Some thermal paste on this guy. Don't knock the camera over again. Oh, man. I need to clean up that access way here. All right. Once again, rolling with my GD900 thermal paste. Hasn't failed me yet. Stuff just works. It's probably way too much. It's not probably way too much. It definitely is way too much. The only thing I don't like about this thermal paste is it comes out kind of separated a little bit. And you have to kind of like mix it back in to solution with itself. But it's fine. It works. It's cheap. You get a ton of it for not very much money. It definitely works for applications like this where I just need to test some stuff. Okay. All right. Trying my best to do like a starish pattern here. Kind of spread the tension across the surface of the CPU evenly so that the thermal compound will spread more evenly also. Okay. Well, crap. Man, that is a super short. I guess I should have made sure that had enough length to plug into the fan header. That fan, I'm used to, aftermarket CPU coolers have usually a ton of, like, an excess of cable length. This thing is like, Dell was like, man, can we shave off 2 centimeters of wiring for every cable, short as possible. And that's fine. We'll get there. Somebody commented on one of my videos like, man, this video is way too long. You could have gotten, you could have just gotten to the point and told me what I wanted to know. And, my response to that is like, it's the fun in that. There's no discovery, Sometimes I'm learning things while or not learning, but I'm like becoming cognizant of things while I'm talking about them. That's just the way my brain works. I'm definitely like speech oriented, right? My thought process happens as I speak in a lot of instances. So that does fit right? Doesn't mean I'm not capable of writing a script, but man, I personally do not enjoy reading a script, and I'm not going to get on YouTube and read a script to people. Could I maybe do a better job post-production and cut out some stuff? Yeah, probably. Doesn't mean I'm gonna. It's just more work. Who wants that? Alright, so repaste it, which, I mean, honestly, I was always going to redo the thermal paste. That's just never an option on a PC you just bought. Thermal paste was definitely very, very, very dry. And that, to me, is, if this cooler has been taken on and off, which it definitely appears to my eye to have been taken on and off, and the thermal paste was not replenished at some point during that removal and reinstall cycle, that's really bad. Like that, you can kill a processor doing that for sure. For sure. You can definitely take your CPU down. I kind of want to get that tower off of there. I should have done that before I reinstalled it, probably. Yeah, there's one. Come on, guy. There's two. There's three. He gone. Alright, well, I should have cleaned this cooler out while I had it off, but it's kind of hard to do that on a live stream. I'll take it off out on the deck and blow it out with the air compressor later. But I mean, it's attached firmly. It's got fresh thermal paste, fan spin. It's not like totally plugged up, although it's not great for sure. So let's get set up to run a couple of tests. So I want to isolate it away from the stock power supply. I know it tested good, but I'm going to get it out of here. And I'm going to use a known good power supply that I have been using very recently. I don't even really need to get the test bench out. I can just grab a motherboard box and we'll be fine. Yep, look at that empty motherboard box right there. Good to go. Alright, so this, I got power there. I'm just going to install one RAM module right now and see if I get like just a post or a video out or anything out of it. So I can use this. I know that this GT720 works, so I can throw that in the PCIe slot here. What an interesting like motherboard PCI setup. So the main by 16 slot is like way down here. There's a by 8 slot or by 4 even maybe. I can't remember if it's by 8 or by 4. I think it's by 4. Yeah, there's a by 4 and 2 by 1s. Another by 1 down here, and then a legacy PCI slot if you've got an old card. But if you are going to run like if you wanted to run a double, a 2-slot card, it's going to be very close to the bottom of the case, which is not like insurmountable issue. Still got a fan that blows air directly into the case from this side across the GPU, so that's fine. It's just not as good as it could be, I guess. All right, let me get the, I got a bunch of stuff on the floor over here because I got like 17 projects going at once right now. Let me get monitor up here and turn the phone off from my telemarketers. Let's see how my, phone's locked because of that dumb call. It's going to check the health of the stream. I'll check that here in a minute. Okay, I'm going to get the monitor hooked up there. And got an HDMI cable here. So I'm not hooking any drive up right now. I just want to see if this thing will post at all. Will it post? Okay. Let's get some power to the board here. Fingers are just not cooperating. All right, so we got this breadboarded now. Let me get a keyboard plugged in so I can navigate the BIOS if it appears. Might also need to clear the BIOS. I haven't done that yet, but it's probably good next step. Okay, so we got known good power supply, known good graphics card with our unknown quantity of actually I have known good RAM also. Where is that stuff? Where did I put the RAM from? This is just like a Dell XPS swap meet going on in here. I have RAM from the XPS 8300. Yep, here it is. So I know both of these are good. So just gonna toss that kit to the side right there. This one is 4 gig. I want a 2 gig stick. Yeah, 2 gig crucial. No, so they're both 4 gig. Never mind. That's fine. It'll read 4 gig. So that way I know that I'm isolating. At this point, I know I'm isolating motherboard and CPU as known quantities. Or unknown quantities. All right. Let's go ahead and fire it up. And then additionally, I do know, well, I have a tested X58 motherboard, but it was tested like a year ago, over a year ago, and it's been in storage ever since. It's been moved. We moved houses, so I think it's good, but it might not be good. So this is like as close as I can get to isolating everything that I have like immediate one-to-one replacement parts for, to my knowledge. All right. Fans are on. No display out. Still. So it sounds like a boot to me. Like there's no immediate glaring problem, right? Let's turn that on. Oh no, it was on standby. It's just not getting a video signal. This I know is good because I just tested it like not even a week ago in the Dell in the 8300 build. This RAM I know is good because it was in a running Dell 8300 that did work, did power on, did boot, did get into Windows. So probably motherboard or CPU or both. So that's where I'm at. We know the power supply is good. We know everything else is good. So now I can poke around and see if I have another CPU. I know I do. I'm looking at one right now. So let's swap CPUs and then we'll know for sure if it's the power supply, or not power supply, if it's the motherboard or the, actually I'm going to take this CMOS battery out. Just let that clear while I am rearranging. So once more, with feeling, we're going to take the CPU cooler off and I'm going to swap in a, well, this is not a perfect solution. This is a spare i7-920 that I got a while ago, and I have not tested it, and that's a problem. But if I swap it in to this motherboard and it boots, then I know I have a bad processor. And if I swap it in this motherboard and I have the same problem, then I'm kind of at the same place I am now. I either have a bad processor and a bad motherboard, or I just have a bad motherboard. We don't know. I have two components. I'm trying to diagnose. I think it's the motherboard. I'm leaning really heavy to the motherboard, but we will see. We will see. Is there anybody actually watching this stream? Anybody out there? It is like an inception loop. That's funny. All right. It's me watching me doing the inception loop. I have 2 thumbs up, so that's nice. Whoever gave me the thumbs up, thank you. Okay. Let's get this way too much thermal paste off of here. Okay. Pop that off of there, that off of there. Alright. So one as yet unknown CPU for a different as yet unknown CPU. This is not really the best way to do business, but it's kind of like what I got right now. So yeah, it's what I got. Uh-oh. CPU may be bad. It may have a bad pad. Well, crap. Maybe one bad pad on this one I'm about to swap into here. So that's not good, but like I said, swapping this in here doesn't really change my position unless this boots. If it boots, then I know something. I know that it's that CPU is bad. If it doesn't boot, I'm still left in the lurch of not knowing whether or not it's this motherboard or that CPU. So it's not like the best short-term troubleshooting step that I could take, for sure. But it's what I got to work with. So I'm just gonna do what I can do at this point. I may need to go and dig around in my piles or files, either way, piles and files, to see if I have another socket 58. I kind of don't want to dig the 980X out of the P58 Deluxe. They are a matched pair, so to speak. They work very well together, and I don't really want to pull them apart, but I will if I have to. But I think I might have like a super cheap W3620 or something. If memory serves me, I bought for like $4 on eBay just for testing purposes. So that's an option also. All right, so we cleared CMOS, swapped CPUs. Let's see what that gets us. Oh, gotta have it plugged into power, jackass. Oh my god. All right, keyboard lights up, good sign. We're getting power through the board and contact. Oh shit. So yeah, no video out. No video out. Okay. Well, I am, at this point, I'm done for now trying to isolate this, the problem with this Dell Studio XPS 435T /9000. It's a long name. We do have 12-year-old protective peel film to end on, though. So I do want to end on that high note. Yeah, it's just not going to boot or post. It's not going to post. So let me just get this on frame. We'll give you guys one peel. One peel. I can. Oh my God, chair's in the way. Oop. Knock that door over. That thing will crush a leg if it falls in the wrong way. All right, here we go. One protective film layer. Oh, let's get this piece of tape over here on the side. Come on. Ugh. 12-year-old Dell protective film peel. Oh yeah, it's going. Oh, shut up, telemarketers. Oh, this is not the best peel. I left some residue. That's okay. Oh, so close to being a clean peel. So close. One little piece left. Look at that. That's like almost brand new. Pretty sweet. Clean that up. All right. Oh my God, so heavy. Okay, guys. Well, this is been a little bit disappointing. I was hoping I was going to be able to diagnose it down to maybe just a bad stick of RAM or something, but not that easy. So Dell XPS 8300 or not 8300, 435T 9000, 12-year-old PC, still had the plastic wrap, protective plastic wrap on it. It also came with a matching Dell, well, the e-waste peripherals from 2009, but a matching Dell 1080p monitor also. So I'll get those on the table here next time, and we'll look at those and see, you know, what the experience is like on some Dell specific hardware. Looks like Dell released a ton of gaming monitors recently. That's kind of weird. I mean, not weird, but like it's interesting that they've released so many so quickly. So yeah, eventually I'll get it sorted out down to whether it's the bad motherboard or bad CPU. I wanted to do it live on camera, but I don't know where my Xeon processor is that I'm 90% certain is good. So more to follow. I'm Mike. This is my channel, Solid State Alchemy. I'm in my basement. I'm in the underbelly of the YouTube algorithm. Leave a comment, leave a like. Let me know what you think it is. Do you think it's the CPU, or do you think it's the motherboard, or do you think it's both? I'll catch you on the next one, and hopefully we'll diagnose what is actually wrong with this PC. I'm out.